ramp. We're going to send it over to Zyrene at the Telestrator.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And yes, I'm going to go over a play that actually ends up being 4 for 3 in favor of TSM. But this is a play that actually has a lot of great interactions in it that are so hard to see in the micro sense. So I actually want to break this down and talk to you guys about some of the new things we're seeing on the Rift here. The top Poppy and the Caitlyn, which was only played once prior. So what's going to happen in this play is Immortals feel like they have a grasp on this. Despite being picked off by Bjergsen and caught off guard, they're going to start kiting, and they're going to kite upward. They're going to kite towards this area and place a ward around where Adrian's position is right now. That's going to allow them to kite backwards, and when they reach that back area, it's allowed for the TP to come through. They want them to follow them through the choke point, but what they don't account for is what's going to happen to that choke point on the way through. So as we lay that, as we start the replay, you're going to see here that Svenskeren goes aggressive, Yellowstar goes aggressive, Wild Turtle and Adrian are going to pop abilities that they shouldn't be popping there. Adrian ulti goes down, Wild Turtle valks away, and that choke point that they now want to chase TSM back through has Caitlyn traps all throughout it. And what's going to happen is Reignover's Ragnarok is going to wear off. He wants to re-engage this fight and come down here to re-engage. But he's going to get caught on a trap. It's so hard to keep track of these things in the middle of the fight. And then they're going to get Poppy ultied away, and that's going to give superior numbers over to the TSM side. Comes through. Boom. 2 for 1. If he had just gotten Reignover out of there, it would have been fine. But he gets Reignover and Adrian both out of the fight. And these Caitlyn traps are so oppressive when used correctly. And we saw turret setups. We saw 4 in the lane, 1 behind the turret, where you get to siege. And another thing about this Caitlyn is that against compositions that don't have multiple tanks, it's hard to soak these traps up. Your squishies don't want to stand on the traps because they take full damage Qs, and they also take a very large headshot percentage increased damage. So while you're going through choke points, you have to pay attention to what happened to it on the way back out. So hope you learned something today. I hope that you guys, when you encounter Caitlyn, remember, watch your feet. Now, let's hand it off to Dash with some victorious interviews.
Thank you very much, Zyrene. I am here with Wild Turtle and Adrian. 3-0 now for Immortals, so off to a good start. However, this looked like the toughest game for you guys so far. So Wild Turtle, coming to you first, what was it about this game that made it so much more difficult than, let's say, an 18-minute perfect game last week?
Honestly, I think TSM played really well that game. Despite the mishap in the 2v1, they played the mid game, and they were really good at pressuring the map. And it was really hard for us to do what we wanted because we usually were able to do a lot of plays, like get the Huni split pushing going, but they were able to negate that early on. Poppy was actually, Hanser was actually winning that matchup for a little bit until Huni got more items. Yeah, I think TSM were in control from some of that game, but we eventually got control back at the Baron fight, which was pretty awesome.
The Poppy Fiora matchup was definitely a fun one to watch. Adrian, I got to come to you. Explain to me the level 1 that happened here, because it was very tough from our perspective to kind of figure out what all was planned and what was being done in the moment, because you guys had that late invade onto the Gromp, which was the same side that their jungle and top laner were starting on, and then we saw this kind of continuous dance around the top lane turret. So can you kind of break down what exactly happened in that level 1?
We wanted to secure a lane swap and to secure that side of the jungle, but they did the rolls for some reason, and then they were completely on the wrong side of the map when they were lane swapping. And
So when you run into a situation like that where you have this plan, how did you guys pivot, and what's the communication like on the team? Who's taking over as the main shot caller in these early stages of the game, reacting to what was planned and then what actually happened?
I think everyone was just talking and giving their opinions, and we just picked what we felt was best.
All right, fabulous. And it ended up working out for you. However, as you mentioned, TSM had a lot of control throughout the game. So ultimately, we ended up finding ourselves outside the Baron pit. We had the steal come in by Reignover. And a lot of people would point to that as being one of the places where the game kind of turned. Wild Turtle, to you, the dynamic of the team seems to always allow for, so far, what we've seen, kind of this positive energy where a play like that will always be available to you guys. Do you feel like through practice and games so far that you guys have kind of reached that S-tier status as a team in terms of dynamic and the way that you're able to communicate and make split-second decisions around the map?
Yeah, I think our communication is really good. Like, we still have like a little bit of mistakes. Like, sometimes people are on the wrong page, but overall, I think our team communication is pretty on point. Like, we usually don't miss a beat when it comes to plays like that. We know what we want to do, and I think we just executed well. Like, TSM did play well around that, but I guess they had a big throw at Baron.
Now, naturally, a 3-0 start, a lot of people start looking at you guys as, well, is this going to be the next 18-0 team? Are they going to go undefeated? You know, so expectations can definitely be high, and then throw on top of that the 18, 20-minute second, perfect game last week. Adrian, how is the team dealing with some of kind of the rising expectation and pressure that adds?
I don't think anyone really feels any pressure to like play better. Like we just play the same with everyone. Like we don't underestimate anyone or overestimate them. We just play it the same.
In this game, TSM, Immortals, you've had experience now playing on both. What would you say is the difference between your experience on TSM and Immortals that let you come out on the victorious side this time around?
I think I just have like a lot more freedom on Immortals because I just pick whatever I feel like is strong, and I give my opinions on what I feel is strong. So it gives me more confidence on what I'm like buying or what items I'm buying and like what champions I'm playing. And I just have a lot more freedom around that, so I definitely feel more confident in my champions, so I think that contributes to my play a lot.
In this matchup, we saw the Corki versus the Caitlyn. Can you just speak to me as a marksman about kind of the strengths of Caitlyn's? Irene mentioned we haven't seen too much of it played as of yet, but she is kind of creeping her way into the meta. What are her big pros versus cons?
I think her biggest pro is how the traps work now, because you can get 5, and late game, like I'm pretty sure like people are maxing Q, and then like the traps right after, and once you get the traps max, like you have a lot of pressure on sieging turrets, objective control, and Caitlyn's definitely like really annoying that game. Like she was like zoning us from ever walking up to get any mid vision because she had 5 traps in the mid lane, and that was pretty annoying. So that was like her biggest pro. And one of her cons is I don't think she's like too strong early game, and she's strong, but like she's not like Kalista strong basically.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, Energy tomorrow, Adrian, the other undefeated team left in the North American LCS. What are the big things that you guys are looking at to attack when you take into consideration the roster that they're fielding?
I think their 2 Koreans, Impact and GBM, are really good, but I think ours are better.
All right. I like to hear that confidence coming out of these guys. That will no doubt be a fantastic game tomorrow. Congratulations once again on the victory today. Now we're going to head off the rift for 3.5, but when we return, we'll follow Team Liquid as they look for their first win against Counterlogic Gaming. Stay with us.
All right, guys, let's close this game out. No deaths if we can.
Okay, perfect game. Come on.
Perfect game of just like Tip.
Yo, can I get another gank?
No, I'm out of ganks.
Overextension by Huni, and they're not even done yet. Right over Popsicle, he wants this fight, and he's gonna do so much damage.
TP, hey, Kevin, give me a ward, give me a ward, give me a ward. I want him.
I'm here.
Too slow.
On Pobalter.
Kill his hammer.
Go on Pure, go on Pure. Let's go, Pure.
Hey,
run, Dennis, run.
One of you recall.
Now Huni, still in a bad spot, knocked around, Shanna saves it! Oh my word!
Nice. I have a charm. You can careful. I'm going. Olaf, kill Olaf. I'm a charm. Corki. Kill him.
I'm on Bram. I'm just hitting Bram.
I got it. Kill Aaron in the pit.
Poppy.
Yerkson really wants in, goes for the charm. Pobalter goes in, and they're gonna delete TSM! Immortals 3-0.